Hello, welcome once again to this weekly podcast. And today's topic, the name is Investors Create Your Real Estate Portfolio by Investing in Silicon Valleys, in high-tech hubs, in the three high-tech hubs. Thank you for attending. This is Si Win Yi from the Yi Real Estate Network. And my special guest, once again, is Mr. Richard.advani from Supreme Lending, the nation's leading investment loan agent who help investors obtain investment loans in all over the country, in all 50 states. And so welcome once again, Richard. Thank you for your time and I appreciate your participation in our weekly podcast. You've been providing a lot of value for many investors out there. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen and articulate with you. All right, so what I'm going to start is, of course, Richard and I've been living in the San Francisco Bay Area for over 30 years and here in Northern California. And Richard, you've been living in Southern California for a long time as well. So in a way, Richard, the area that we live in physically have gone through some tremendous evolution in terms of real estate over many years. So, and the reason why the topic of this unique webinar is such that it's amazing. To my knowledge, there's no other real estate guru, for the lack of a better term, have made this kind of recommendation. So I'm very proud and excited to help our investors to focus and create their real estate portfolio by buying all the high-tech hubs in a good market. So without further ado, as many of you know, is the mother of all high-tech hub is the original Silicon Valley, San Francisco Bay Area. And so let me give you an example of the potential of investing in the high-tech hubs for the foreseeable future. Let me give you an example of this particular property, this townhouse built in 1985 here in Fremont, which is in East Bay, 20 miles north of San Jose. This is a townhouse, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square foot, built in 1985 in Fremont. In 1992, this townhouse was cost $186,000. Today, 2021, this townhouse is valued at $950,000. Let me give you another example. In 1990, this single-family home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,698 square foot, also in Fremont, California, and it was built in 1990, more than 30 years ago. In the year 2000, 21 years ago, the price of this single-family home is $540,000. Today, 2021, this single-family home is valued at approximately 1.7 million. So these two examples, or prime example, what's going on in the California real estate market. And Richard, in Southern California, where you live, Southern California and LA Metro is huge, right? Or 4 times bigger than San Francisco Bay Area. I'm sure you can give me tons of examples of housing prices in Southern California. Similarly, like 500K 20 years ago, now is more than $1 million, right? So is that what you're seeing? And Richard, you lived down there for many years. Have you seen the gradual real estate buildup in the LA area where you live? Can you share a quick thought about what's happening in the past 20 or 30 years in your market down there?
Yeah, absolutely. And forgive me, my speakers were breaking up real bad, so I think I caught only a portion of that. But I did see the example that you posted, and Southern California it's not been quite as crazy, obviously, as the Silicon Valley has. But it's been absolutely insane. And like it makes it harder and harder, obviously, to invest in areas like this where they've experienced rapid growth. At least, San Francisco and California, obviously, we can't invest here. But investing in those high-tech hubs in other states has proven to be very, very lucrative.
Yeah, yeah, very good, Richard. So without further ado, yeah, I agree. So the reason why, not because Richard and I live in California all these years, is just that I want to use this San Francisco Bay Area, the original Silicon Valley, as you can see on this share screen. This is a blueprint, right? The San Jose original Silicon Valley is a blueprint of moving forward today and beyond of how to create your real estate portfolio by investing in the 3 following Silicon Valleys, high-tech hubs. And our network investors have already, we have already have a fair number of investors right now are that I'm mentoring, that I'm guiding through. They have purchased in all 3 of these high-tech hubs. And I'll tell you specifically what they are, where are they. But in addition, they already own their own principal home, primary home here in San Francisco Bay Area, Silicon Valley. So, this is so exciting for me. So now the Silicon Valley of the South is Austin Metro. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, it's not official, right? I mean, I just like to use these titles, right? And the Silicon Valley of the East is Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and even Charlotte, North Carolina. And the Silicon Valley of the Southeast, which is in the Space Coast, Palm Bay area in the Central Florida toward the Atlantic coast. So before I go to the specifics, some of you are asking, oh, Wing, why not Seattle or Denver or Boise, Idaho or Utah? There are some elements of high-tech hub in these markets. True. However, because the home prices in these markets are very high already, and the numbers does not work for investors, right? The single family medium price home of these areas like $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 in this West market, Seattle, Denver, Boise, or Utah, whatever. So now here are the characteristics of these high-tech hubs that I'm recommending. Okay, and they are, and Richard, I want you to chime in momentarily. One is sun-built, warm weather. Number 2, most of these areas there's no state income tax. Number 3, post-pandemic migration from the West, Midwest, and Northeast, like San Francisco, LA, Chicago, New York City. They are those people, because of remote investing, they are migrating into these 3 high-tech areas. Population and job growth, obviously, right? You want to have this kind of economic engine. Population, job growth, especially high-tech growth. And number 5, shortage of homes to buy and to rent. Many of these areas you'll see bidding wars by renters. Number 6 is double-digit rent increases, right? More cash flow for investors moving forward in these high-tech hubs. Number 7, currently there are a mere 1 month supply of homes, give or take. I know, what we've been seeing more inventories moving forward, which is good. We have a good correction, no more this rampant, huge multiple offers, so that's a good sign for a lot of people. So currently, still, there are 1 month supply of homes in these markets, and 6 months is a balanced market. So we're still seeing a seller's market for the foreseeable future. And number 8, these high-tech hubs that I'm recommending for investors are affordable, and for investors, they have good capitalization rates, good rent to value ratio, good cash and cash return, and good total return on your investment. So on this 8 bullet points, Richard, can you share with us your thoughts on these 8 bullet points and that are consistently have the characteristic in these 3 high-tech markets, which I'm going to talk about more.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, obviously in the perfect world, all of us would have loved to have some insight into, you know, the first and the real Silicon Valley into the Bay Area, because I'm sure we all would have bought 10, 15, 20, as many homes as we could have, right? To experience that growth. And it's cool because we're in a position now where we can see patterns of, as you said, you know, these new mini, or not even mini at this point, right? You look at places like Austin and in Raleigh. I mean, they're not even mini anymore. They're big tech hubs. However, they're not, you know, at the fully kind of they're not fully grown out like California Silicon Valley is. So you know, I feel like, you know, maybe 3 years ago was the ground level in these places, but we're still pretty close to catching a lot of these markets at ground level, and they have good fundamentals, as you mentioned. They have good weather, but more importantly, they have really tech-friendly laws and rules that are bringing these tech companies in, bringing the jobs in, and then as we're seeing, I mean, that leads to explosive growth in property values. I mean, explosive is the only thing really to use, because, you know, when you bring in these high-income earners to these areas, and there's such a demand for these properties. You know, a house that would be going for 200,000 is now going to go for 350, 400,000. And I think most of these areas are still at their infancy in terms of their growth into established tech hubs. So, you know, we're likely going to see a lot of these areas continue to grow, continue to increase. And obviously that makes for solid rentals on the cash flow perspective, but also, you know, to capture some of that broad level growth.
Wow, very well said, Richard. Very good recap. So briefly, before I'm going to go over the Google map in each of these 3 high-tech areas, let me share briefly with you their pro forma, the typical price and the rental income that you can get as an investor. So in the Silicon Valley at the south, Austin Metro, like, you know, 30 to 50 miles north and south of Austin, we have cash flow properties as low as $235,000, new construction or newer resales at you know, events for like $1,750. You put 20% down, you will achieve positive net cash flow monthly around $250 to $300. And then San Antonio, same, new construction around $235K. So events for similar $1,750 typically, and you will cash flow at 20% down. And Silicon Valley at the east, you know, Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, and Chapel Hill, North Carolina, part of the Research Triangle Park, which is, they call it the Triangle. We still have some cash flow properties in Raleigh. For example, you know, just an example, 330K, it rents for like 2,000, 2,100. So you put 20 to 25% down payment, you will achieve monthly positive cash flow. And then Charlotte, same thing, right? 300K, typical single family home, brand new or newer resales. It rents for like 2,000, 2,100. Cash flow similarly, 20%. And finally, this relatively small hub in Silicon Valley of the Southeast, I call it, is a Space Coast, right? Space Coast, you know, Cape Canaveral, Kennedy Space Center, and the 3 legend, Jeff Bezos, Richard Branson, and Elon Musk. They are doing this private space program, space travel, space tourism, exploration, and then we have, you know, all kinds of great things going on in Palm Bay, Florida, which is 1 hour east of Orlando. And homes there, new construction, like 250, 270K, renting for 1,750, 1,800, 20% down, you can cash flow. So with that said, so let's go over the map, right? So I know none of us have a crystal ball, right? I mean, we don't know just because the area prices have gone, you know, quadruple in the past 20 years. It does not mean the other areas, the other type hub going to follow precisely what's going on with the area.